Tonight, you're going to eat something out of a box. Maybe out of a bag. Maybe out of a wrapper with a cartoon mascot on it. Your body will accept it without question. But your body was not built for this. Not even close. For most of human history, there was no box. There was no bag. There was no guarantee that today would bring food at all. And yet, somehow, that uncertainty built the strongest, leanest, most adaptable digestive system our species has ever had. So what did ancient humans actually eat? The real answer is far stranger and far more varied than anything on a modern plate. Start with the myth. You've probably heard it. Cavemen ate meat. Big slabs of it, torn off a woolly mammoth, roasted over a fire. That image is everywhere. It's in cartoons, in diet books, in gym motivational posters. And it's mostly wrong. Anthropologist Richard Wrangham, who has spent decades studying early human diets at Harvard, found something different. Early hunter-gatherers ate an enormous range of foods. Roots, tubers, insects, shellfish, wild greens, fruit when it was in season, which wasn't often. Meat, yes, but meat was rare, unpredictable, and often shared among dozens of people the moment it was caught. A single kill could feed a group for a day or two. The rest of the time, survival depended on something far less glamorous. Digging. Picture it. Not a hunter with a spear, triumphant. Picture a woman with a sharpened stick, kneeling in dry soil, working for an hour to unearth a single tuber the size of a fist. That was dinner. That was normal. That was most of human evolutionary history, condensed into one unremarkable afternoon. Here's where it gets stranger. Researchers studying the Hadza people of Tanzania, one of the last remaining hunter-gatherer societies on Earth, found that their diet shifts dramatically by season. In the dry months, they eat mostly tubers and meat. In the wet months, they eat mostly honey and berries. Some months, over half their daily calories come from honey. Not meat, honey. Anthropologist Alyssa Crittenden has documented Hadza children eating baobab fruit, wild greens, and honeycomb, sometimes with the larvae still inside. Sometimes the larvae were the point. Free protein, wrapped in something sweet. Your ancestors weren't picky. Picky didn't survive winter. Now ask yourself a question. Why does your body still crave sugar the way it does? Why does a slice of cake feel like a reward, even when you know it isn't good for you? Because for nearly 2 million years, sugar was rare. It was seasonal. It was fruit, ripe for a few short weeks, or honey, guarded by furious bees. Finding something sweet meant finding something valuable. Your brain rewarded that discovery with a flood of dopamine, because in a world of scarcity, sugar meant survival. That reward system never updated. It's still running the same ancient code, except now the reward sits in a vending machine. Always in season, never guarded by anything more dangerous than a coin slot. This mismatch has a name. Researchers call it evolutionary mismatch. The idea that a trait shaped by ancient conditions can become harmful once the environment changes faster than biology can keep up. Your craving for sugar isn't a flaw. It's a feature stuck in the wrong century. Meat tells a similar story, but with a twist. When early humans did eat meat, it wasn't the lean, trimmed cuts you'd find at a grocery store. It was the whole animal. Organs first, often. Liver, brain, marrow, the fat-rich parts, modern diets tend to avoid. Anthropologists studying tool marks on ancient animal bones have found that early humans cracked them open specifically to reach the marrow inside. Bone marrow is dense in fat and calories were never guaranteed. Nothing was wasted, because waste meant risk. Waste meant maybe not eating again for 3 days, which raises another question. If food was this unpredictable, how did the human brain, one of the most energy-hungry organs in the entire animal kingdom, ever afford to grow so large? This is where the story gets genuinely strange. Wrangham's research points to an unexpected answer. Not more meat, fire, cooking changes food at a molecular level. It breaks down tough plant fibers, denatures proteins, and makes calories dramatically easier for the body to absorb. A cooked root delivers far more usable energy than a raw one, for the exact same amount of chewing and digesting. Once early, humans controlled fire, an entire category of tough, fibrous, previously low-value foods suddenly became efficient fuel. Wrangham argues This single shift may be one of the reasons the human brain was able to expand at all. Not the hunt, the hearth. Think about that for a moment. The defining leap in human intelligence may not have come from chasing something down. It may have come from sitting still in front of a fire, patiently transforming food into something the body could finally use. There's one more piece to this puzzle, and it's the part most people never hear. Ancient human diets weren't just varied across seasons. They were varied across an entire lifetime, shaped by whatever ecosystem a group happened to live in. Coastal groups ate enormous amounts of shellfish and fish, rich in the fatty acids your brain still depends on today. Desert groups relied on tubers, insects, and whatever meat crossed their path. Forest groups ate more fruit, nuts, and wild tubers than either. There was no single ancestral diet. There were thousands of them, each one perfectly adapted to a specific place, a specific climate, a specific set of risks. Which means the modern search for the one true ancestral diet, the single correct way humans are supposed to eat, may be chasing something that never existed in the first place. Your ancestors weren't following a plan. They were following the land. Whatever it offered, on whatever week it offered it. What did stay consistent across nearly every group anthropologists have studied was variety itself. Dozens of different plant species eaten across a single year. Meat when available, insects when meat wasn't, fat and organs prioritized over lean muscle. Sugar treated as rare and precious rather than constant and cheap. Your gut, your metabolism, your cravings, all of it was calibrated against that kind of shifting, unpredictable diversity. Not against a single aisle of a grocery store, stocked the same way, every single day, all year long. So when you reach for that boxed snack tonight, understand what's actually happening. Your tongue is being flooded with a concentration of sugar and fat that essentially never existed in nature. Not in this combination, not in this volume, not available on demand at any hour. Your ancient reward system, built for scarcity, has no defense against abundance. It wasn't designed to say no. It was never supposed to need to. This isn't a story about eating perfectly or about returning to some imagined paradise of foraging and fire. It's a story about understanding the gap between the body you have and the world you built. Your ancestors didn't eat caveman food. They ate whatever the land gave them, worked hard for every calorie, and treated sweetness as a rare and precious event. Tonight, when you eat something out of a box, remember what that craving actually is. Not a weakness. A message sent from a woman with a sharpened stick, kneeling in dry soil 2 million years ago. Still trying to tell you that food is precious and that sweetness, real sweetness, was never supposed to be easy to find.